The soft hum of computer fans and the gentle clicking of keyboard keys filled the small, cluttered workspace of Adam Taylor. Scattered around his desk were remnants of countless digital resurrections, cracked screens, water-damaged hard drives, and ancient storage devices that most would have long since discarded. To Adam, each was a puzzle waiting to be solved, a digital narrative waiting to be restored. The smartphone arrived on a Tuesday, nestled in a padded manila envelope. The device looked older than most of the tech Adam typically worked with, its edges slightly worn, the metallic finish dulled by years of use. The client was a regular, Detective Lauren Davis, a local police detective he'd worked with on numerous cases. And her request had been simple: recover whatever data possible from the device, which appeared to have been found in an abandoned storage unit. The device was sealed in a clear evidence bag with a handwritten note from the detective. Handle with care. Potential evidence. He carefully connected the phone to his specialized recovery station. The initial scans revealed the device had been meticulously wiped. Most users would have considered the phone thoroughly erased, but Adam knew better. Digital ghosts always left traces, fragments of memories waiting to be reconstructed. Hours passed. Lines of code scrolled across multiple monitors as Adam's specialized software began piecing together fragments of deleted files. Most recovery attempts yielded nothing more than corrupted snippets. A partial image here, a fragment of a text message there. Then something changed. A video file emerged, its metadata initially scrambled, but gradually resolving. Adam leaned closer, adjusting his glasses. The timestamp was bizarre, dated 3 months in the future. He assumed it was a glitch, a common occurrence in digital forensics. The video was grainy, shot from what seemed to be a smartphone camera, a dimly lit street corner, somewhere in the city. A figure, partially obscured, walking alone. Then abruptly, nothing. The video cut to black. Adam frowned and continued the recovery process. By midnight, he had recovered 7 such videos. Each was similar: a street scene, a lone figure, an implied disappearance. What made them truly unsettling was their precise future dates, all within the next 3 months. He knew he should contact Davis right away. Professional protocol demanded it. But something made him hesitate, a growing sense that revealing these videos might set something in motion that couldn't be stopped. And of course, there was the fact that the video was dated in the future. How was he going to explain that when he couldn't really make sense of it himself? On the surface, anyone would assume the file must be corrupted. But Adam wasn't just any standard device recovery specialist. There was a reason the local police often came to him. He was the best at his job. Finding the real date of the video shouldn't be beyond him, and he had been very meticulous. The 5th video threw every thought out of his mind. This time, the camera, or phone, was stationary. It captured an intersection Adam recognized. Pine Street and 23rd, just 2 blocks from his own apartment. The timestamp showed a date exactly 47 days in the future. A figure walked into frame. Female, medium height, dark coat. Even from this distance, something about her movement seemed deliberate, almost choreographed. Then she stopped, looked directly at the camera. Adam felt a chill run down his spine, and a sense of foreboding he had never felt before. The next morning, he brought the findings to Detective Davis. Her office was a study in controlled chaos. Case files stacked precariously, a large city map peppered with colored pins marking various locations. 7 videos, Adam explained, sliding an encrypted drive across her desk. All showing what appears to be moments before a disappearance, all dated in the future. Davis's expression was clinical and professional, but Adam noticed a slight tightness around her eyes, a twitch that signaled trouble, but she soon recovered and schooled her expression. Dated in the future, she deadpanned. That's got to be an error, Adam, and you know it. Adam hesitated. The digital forensics are sound. These aren't manipulated files. I checked them all more than 3 times, used every method there is. You know how I work. I'm telling you, these are genuine recordings. The detective eyed him for some time, something unreadable in her expression. He was expecting her to argue, or scoff at him for the junk he turned up with. It made absolutely no sense for a video to be dated in the future, no matter how much he vouched for his methods. Instead, she simply grabbed his drive and tossed it lightly, nonchalantly, onto her desk. "Well, you've done your bit," she said evenly. "You can leave this with me. Thank you. Payment will go through at the usual time." And that was the cue to leave. But something was warring within Adam. This all went too smoothly, dismissed too easily, and something didn't feel right about this interaction, but he couldn't pinpoint exactly why. But there was nothing he could do except turn to leave. He had kept the copies of the videos anyway, just in case. Over the next weeks, Adam found himself becoming obsessed. He rewatched the videos over and over again. The Pine Street video haunted him the most, the one right by his apartment. The night he decided to verify the first chronological video's location, exactly 47 days from his discovery of the videos, it was cold and damp. Adam felt ridiculous, bundled in a winter coat, standing on the exact street corner from the recording. His breath formed small clouds in the frigid air. "This is insane," he thought. "I'm literally standing here, waiting for something that might not happen, based on a video from a smartphone that could be nothing more than a glitch." He checked his watch. 11:47 p.m., the exact time from the video. Nothing happened. Minutes passed. The street remained empty. A few cars rolled by, their headlights cutting through the misty night. Adam felt like an idiot. What did he really expect to happen anyway? Did he really think he had witnessed some premonition of the future, and everything he saw was going to come true? He was about to leave when he noticed something. A shadow, a lone figure, moving exactly as it had in the video. Adam's heart stuttered and he almost fell over from shock. By the time he pulled out his phone to take a picture, the figure had vanished. But this was enough for Adam. What was shown in the video had come true. He stood in the dark street corner, heart hammering, reveling in his discovery. 2 weeks after his street corner vigil, he went to the location shown in the next video, at the precise timestamp. And the second video's predicted disappearance really occurred, exactly as shown. A woman, mid-30s, vanishing near an industrial district. Adam was half ecstatic, half scared beyond his wits. He knew he was onto something for certain now, but the confusion he felt when he first brought the videos back to the police station also returned. After the first incident, a missing person report appeared in the newspaper the very next day. Adam had been on the lookout for it, but in less than 48 hours, the report had disappeared, as if the case had been resolved. But there was no front-page celebration of a missing person found, or anything at all that could be linked. The report had simply vanished. Something told him the same thing would happen with the second case, and he was right. And then he was right again, the third time. Something needed to be done. The evidence storage facility was a labyrinth of metal shelves and sealed boxes. Adam had spent weeks studying its layout, tracking the movement of specific case files that seemed to intersect with the strange videos. What most people didn't know about Adam was that before becoming a data recovery guy, he was a freelance investigator. What he discovered went beyond mere coincidence, and a more sinister picture began to emerge. The case files he discovered of these missing women were meticulously altered. Not just redacted or partially destroyed, but surgically edited, as if someone were systematically erasing any trace of these disappearances. Dates shifted, names blurred, entire sections of reports simply vanished. It was more than a cover-up. It felt like an orchestration. On the third night of his investigation, Adam discovered something that made his blood run cold. Hidden behind a stack of seemingly mundane police reports was a folder marked with a series of numbers, 472311. The same numbers that had haunted the timestamps of those impossible videos. Inside, there were no traditional documents. Instead, he found a collection of photographs, each showing a street corner, an intersection, a shadowy figure always just at the edge of the frame. The images were old, but the quality was pristine, almost surgical in its clarity. And in each photo, a woman in a dark coat stood watching, her face always turned just enough to remain unidentifiable. A handwritten note caught his eye. The handwriting was familiar, Detective Davis's precise, angular script, but the content was anything but professional. They choose. We collect. The balance must be maintained. Adam's hands trembled. What balance? Who were they? The day after finding Davis's note, Adam noticed something was wrong. A black sedan began appearing everywhere he was. Outside his apartment, 2 blocks from his favorite coffee shop, parked across the street from the data recovery shop where he worked. At first, he tried to rationalize it. City streets were busy. Coincidences happened. Lots of people drove black cars, but the car was always the same, a nondescript Ford with tinted windows, its license plate perpetually just out of clear view. Whenever Adam turned to look directly, the car would smoothly pull away, maintaining just enough distance to seem casual. One evening, walking home from work, the surveillance became more aggressive. The sedan began slowly trailing him, maintaining a constant 50-yard distance. Adam's heart raced. He changed his route, cutting through alleyways, doubling back. The car adapted, always present, always just at the edge of his peripheral vision. He ducked into a crowded convenience store, watching through the window. Minutes passed. The street remained still. Then a figure emerged from the sedan, a woman in a dark coat. Not Detective Davis, but someone else. Someone who moved with the same choreographed precision he'd seen in the videos. But Adam knew that Davis was connected to this, not in a good way, and that Davis must have realized he was getting too close. She probably had some reason to want the contents of that phone recovered. But the fact those videos were discovered was probably a mistake she hadn't planned to make. And now whatever mechanism was at work, and whoever else was responsible for these inexplicable disappearances, was now watching him. That night he couldn't sleep. The videos played on a loop in his mind, each frame a puzzle piece that refused to fit. He began to notice something he'd missed before. In each video, just before the disappearance, there was a moment, brief, almost imperceptible, where the air seemed to shimmer, not like a heat mirage or a camera glitch. Something else. Something wrong. A knock at his door broke the silence. It was 3:47 a.m., a time that had begun to take on a significance that terrified him. He approached slowly, the hallway light casting long shadows. Through the peephole, nothing, just darkness. Another knock, softer this time, more deliberate. When Adam opened the door, the hallway was empty, but on the ground lay a single photograph. The same street corner from the Pine Street video, the same dark-coated figure. But this time the image was different. This time the figure was looking directly at him. Davis called him the next morning. Her voice was different, flat, controlled, and ice cold. "Stop looking," she said. "No greeting, no context, just a command." "I can't," Adam replied. "What is going on? What are you—" The line went dead. He realized then that he was no longer just investigating. He had become part of whatever mechanism was at work. The videos, the disappearances, the altered files. Maybe they were going to choose him too, just as they had chosen others before. The next day, a new video appeared in his drive, sat on his encrypted drive like a sealed prophecy. Adam knew that watching it would change everything, but not watching it could also be worse. As he prepared to play the video, a shadow passed his window, a figure in a dark coat. Watching. Adam pressed the button.